Welcome to Deep Thought, character development. And when I say character development, I don't mean anything for a work of fiction, developing and fleshing out the nature of the characters in a written story or a film or something. I'm talking about character development for yourself, developing your character, your personality, who you are. All of that is character. And it's deeper than just saying, the general definition of character is what you do when people aren't looking. It's even deeper than that. It's your whole personality. It's raising yourself up. See, one of the things why, despite having like over 4,000 like spiritual paths on the planet, maybe more now, people make up stuff every day, right? Despite having all of that, anybody can look out their window or look at the news or, look on their devices and they can see people not acting like they have any sense. And like in the African American community, we are statistically the most churched group in the country. Statistically. No other group goes to church more. If either the Christian church predominantly, Muslim sects, ATR sects, you got some people who might be practicing some form of a Hebrew Israelite philosophy. Everything, right? Even some, few people might practice Hinduism. It's a few black people, right? Yet, despite that, we have some serious behavioral issues within the black community. Now, it's easy to say, well, that's them. Maybe they're not part of the church or something. But, we all know. You some of the most evil people belong to some spiritual group. And that goes across everything. We've all met that person who's talking about their Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, but they're evil otherwise. They're evil. Right? Or somebody who's supposed to say they're ATR or something, and supposed to be, we ain't following that white man's religion and stuff, but shoot, they just as shady. See, understand, every single spiritual path started as a path of evolution, not a path of doctrine. The holy men that created Christianity, that created Islam, Buddhism, Judaism, they didn't start it out with a lot of rules. Every single path was how to evolve to the level of evolution that they had. Like if Christians were working on like their evolution, they would be able to duplicate Jesus's miracles. Or if Muslims were working on their character development and working on evolution, they would be able to go into a cave and talk with angels. And you see, and basically because that's what they all introduced. But what happened was all of these systems, and every single one was beautiful, got corrupted and became more of a tool of control than one of character development. Because that's the key thing. Like your behavior, the behavior of somebody who follow a path. But you see, here's how it is. The holy man showed the path to evolution through his actions and showed how anybody could reach it because he did it. It's like, look, this is how I did it. This is how you can do it, right? Okay, cool, right? But what's happened is all of a sudden you have a bunch of rules that don't foster character development, but rather foster obedience. In 325 AD, there was a council in Nicaea where the Romans, actually a small group of Romans, subverted Christianity from what Jesus originally taught to something that could control the masses. Anybody who would doubt that, just look up Gnostic Christianity. That's GNOSTIC Christianity. Look it up and you'll see its differences. All right? If you look in the history of Islam, it was there was a split that happened within 100 years of the death of Muhammad, right? But it's all about it shouldn't be about that. It should be about character development. Every single one. In Yoruba is Iwa Pele, right? Character development. I mean, you still got some groups doing it, and even within the Christian, we still got those evil Christians. But then you have those sincere Christians who follow the words of Jesus, who say, do unto others as you will have them do unto yourself. There be in their behavior, you see what they are, or you see the Muslims, like something like ISIS is not following, is not peace. It's obviously not peace, all right? But when someone carries themselves a certain way, and you'll see it with some Muslims still carried. I mean, in all fairness, there are people who follow their paths, right? Because even though they have the doctrine, they focus on their character. They focus on being a representation of their paths. I mean, and that's the most important thing. Everybody, see, these paths, they give us a way to evolve beyond what we are. If you look at it, like when you have people who don't follow anything or they don't work to develop their character, what do? They behave like children. In fact, that's a big problem just in the society now. We have a lot of juvenile thinking people, even if they're in their old age. I wouldn't have to talk about relationships if you had a critical mass of people actually practicing the golden rule from Christianity, which is do unto others as you will have them do unto you. I wouldn't have to. I wouldn't have to be on my main channel talking about, men who are ruthless and getting some other man's woman, because you wouldn't want that to happen to you, or we wouldn't talk about, you have, or even Christians and Muslims going against each other. If it was more about character development, they will recognize, hey, look, this is just a different path. Let's grow. Instead, they're arguing over everything. In fact, politics shouldn't even be a part of it. And in fact, the character development thing, I'll just say, that's because a character development thing is about making someone first more of a thinking human being. It's everything. If you look at the core of every spiritual path, every religion, it's about someone rising above their animal self. You wouldn't have a lot. Like I said, if you had a critical mass of people in this world who were doing that, we wouldn't have the same evil. We wouldn't have, like in this country, we wouldn't have this divisiveness that we have. If we had a critical mass, it just needs, it don't need to be everybody, just a critical mass of people following the whole thing, developing themselves, trying to be a better person than they were the day before. And like I said, you got some sincere people out there. They show in their actions. They don't have to hit you over the head with a Bible, Quran, or cowrie shells about what they follow. You would see it in how they walk. You would see it in how they talk, how they treat others, how they carry themselves on jobs, everything. It would show that they are following that path and that they are developing their character. And this is a key thing to understand. This is a key thing to get. A lot of people just don't get it. A lot of people don't understand it, but this is what has to happen. This is what has to happen when you look at anything. Like any philosophy, it don't have to be just religion. Like we can take what I do with the men. At the core of it, I might use terms like game and all of that, but that's more to relate to people. But ultimately, it's about self-development. It's about becoming better men. It's about becoming better men, solid men. That's what it's about, right? That's the thing. It ain't about a notch count or anything. That's a side product. When a man is living on his mission or something, then he's following the path I'm laying out, right? He's developing his character. He should be better. He shouldn't be better at like, being deceitful or anything. He should be rising above his animal self, becoming a superior man. So, character development is key. It's key in any philosophy. I'll say this, any philosophy, you follow anyone, ask themselves, are they exhibiting the character traits that you want to emulate yourself? And are they showing you a path to it? I would ask that. If you join a church, a mosque, a shrine, is the leader of that church, mosque, shrine, temple, are they exhibiting good behavior? Are they exhibiting good character? Because otherwise, how can he steward you along? So anyway, as always, something to think about. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.